was trying to confront the dad outside. You see there's no Mustang in the background. And then you'll see that the Mustang showed up on Wednesday. Everything's been sort of shut down by the police out here. And just, I'll kind of update again real quick for people who are just joining. Now it's been about 20 minutes. I talked to the Teton County, Wyoming coroner. He told me that they have found a body in Teton National Park in Wyoming. Was very, very clear that they don't know the identity. They don't know the gender. They don't really know anything yet. He was sending out a deputy coroner. He said it's a very, very remote area. And beyond that, there was not much more he could tell me right now. For someone telling me to check my DM, I'll check my DM. I've got a lot of DMs, but I am going through them all, and some of the stuff has been super helpful, so thank you. But make sure you also send stuff to the FBI. Obviously, that would be way more important than sending it to me if it's anything really suspicious. Someone's asking, why did the parents pick up his car? I mean, this is all stuff that I would love to know the answers to. Obviously, I wish they would come out right now and tell us. There's a lot of weird stuff with the Mustang that we haven't been able to figure out. Where was the Mustang? Why did it reappear Wednesday? We don't know. The person asking, why did they block news reporters from coming? Basically, the police today decided no one could park outside the house anymore. We have to stay behind this red line that's way down there. You can see where the cars are. So we're still allowed to walk down here, but we're not allowed to park here anymore. Some of the neighbors, these neighbors right across the street, have been like super nice, really, really nice people. They're letting some media park in their driveway since the police clamped down. Someone's asking, did the parents drop Brian off at the reserve and then bring back the car? We don't know. I don't know, but there's a lot of speculation surrounding that. So that's really all the new stuff that I have for now. I'll just kind of repeat for anyone new that the biggest thing, which is that the Teton County coroner did confirm at about 4:50 to me that they did find a body in Teton National Park in Wyoming, a very remote area. Said they don't know the gender or really anything about the identity, and that it was going to be quite some time because it's a very rural area. So that's kind of the latest from out here. You see they've still got police outside the laundry house. And that's really about it. So I'll update you guys. I'll check on a lot of people talking about a press conference at 6. I'm going to check on that. And then, of course, I'll be on News Nation starting at 7 p.m. Eastern with all of the updates of the day. So I'll keep you guys updated.
All right, welcome. I can't even see you guys yet. I don't even know who's here. If anybody's here, I have no idea. So I'm going to take a look right now. What's up? What's up? Okay, so now we wait for press release. Denise, I was just wrapping your candle. I actually had to order, I got an Instacart from Staples coming to deliver tape because I'm out of tape. So, yes, they found a body and we don't know anything other than that, is that they found a body. It is Teton. It could be anybody. Not necessarily her, but yeah, the press conference is Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Lady D. So Brian pretty much had the biggest update that I've seen. I, just found out about this about 5 seconds ago and then went live. I had to finish ordering my Instacart and then went live. So many have gone missing there. Could be anyone. I agree with that. It definitely could, especially because they don't even know if it's male or female. but it is a little suspect. Let's see. Hold on. Let me move you guys over here so I can see you guys more. Teton. It's a national park. Hey, Genderlock's mom. All right. So 27 minutes ago, Teton County, Wyoming coroner confirmed to be a body that has been found in Teton National Park. He says they do not know the identity of the gender, says it's in a very remote area. Coroner said a deputy coroner was dispatched to the scene. Northport police are clamping down on media outside of Brian Laundrie's home. A red line has been drawn on the road. We are no longer allowed to park anywhere near the house. I'll do a live update at 5. Let's see if News Nation Now has anything. Okay. Nope, just that a body has been found in Wyoming in the area where authorities continue to search for missing YouTuber Gabby Petito, who vanished while on a cross-country road trip with her fiancé.
The woman who's been missing after going on a cross-country trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. They're both from Florida. Let's take a closer look at the two's journey. In July, the two left New York to go on a trip in a van. They were seen in states like Utah and Wyoming. Brian was last seen in September when he returned home to Florida by himself. Gabby was reported missing more than a week later. Laundrie was named a person of interest in this investigation, but now there's no trace of him. His parents told police that he's been missing since September 14th. News Nation correspondent Brian Inton joins us now live from Northport, Florida. Brian, yesterday was very active at that home behind you. What did today hold as investigators tried to continue to get information?
No, they don't know who it is yet.
Well, Aaron, it's quiet out here tonight, and we know the search for Brian Laundrie here in Florida wrapped up a short time ago at sunset. There's also a search happening today in Wyoming for Gabby Petito. So many questioning, how could Brian Laundrie go missing right in the middle of this investigation? The search for Gabby Petito's fiancé, Brian Laundrie, is now focused on a wildlife preserve where police say Brian's parents say their son might be.
We've had drones in the air, we've got bloodhounds, canines, four-wheelers.
The Laundrie family home is only about 10 minutes away from the area the police are searching, called the Carlton Reserve. It's hundreds of acres of swamp and forest. Yesterday, police showed up to the family house after they say Laundrie's parents called them, concerned that they hadn't seen their son since Tuesday. Today, detectives confirmed the parents would not discuss Gabby Petito and only talked about their missing son.
Their attorney was on the phone with us and, was giving them counsel as we spoke, and all of the conversation was only about the whereabouts of Brian.
A search is also happening in Wyoming, where the FBI says they are conducting ground surveys in Grand Teton National Park, the last place Gabby and Brian may have been together.
I love the van.
The couple documented their travels on social media, like these happy shots shared in their van life YouTube video. Now social media users are flooding platforms searching for Gabby on sites like TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, and others. One Reddit board devoted to her disappearance has commenters scouring Yellowstone webcams for sightings, doing deep dives into possible leads, and combing through the pair's Instagram posts for clues. Police fear if they don't find Brian, they may never find Gabby.
At the moment, do you believe Brian might be in danger?
Sure. I think that's fair to say. I mean, you have somebody, there's an enormous amount of pressure, I'm sure, on him to provide answers on what's going on here.
And Gabby Petito's family put out a statement that says that Brian Laundrie is not missing. They say he is hiding. The search here in Florida will continue tomorrow.
Okay. Let's use logic here. Hold on. Let's use a bit of logic and draw some logical conclusions. if she was able to update on her Facebook page, then she would be able to contact her family. So I'll check her Instagram or TikTok, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't her that posted or that updated something, because I'm pretty positive that she's no longer with us. I don't care who she is. And that's on TikTok? Hold on. I swear to God, TikTok annoys the fuck out of me. Okay, all I see are a bunch of fake accounts. That's all I see. I see a ton of Gabby Petito fake accounts. Tons of them. Gabby Petito, 3,000 followers, no content. Find Gabby. Gabs Petito, 157 followers. Gabby Petito, 212. Gabby Petito, 8. These are all fake. That one's not her. I don't think it's her. No, not her. It's confirmed it's her body? Alright. Where are you getting confirmation it's her body? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere. Denise, where are you getting this confirmation? Because I'm not seeing it yet. I see FBI's having a press conference at 6 with an update. Denise, where are you getting confirmation of this? Yeah, no confirmation on the person. I was going to say I'm not seeing confirmation. It has not been confirmed. There's no confirmation yet. No confirmation. We do not know if it's her yet. Hey, Hopi. But we have 35 minutes till a press conference, so let's go over what happened. I seen a post on the channel that is live myself, though, saying it was... no, there's no confirmation yet. I don't know what you watch, but you should not watch what you watch. It was a news station post. I don't think so. You should change who you watch. Well, the sad part is it's somebody who's missing. That's the sad part. We know somebody was killed there, and that's sad. Yeah, there's no update. Just that the FBI is having a press conference. It will take them time to get the DNA, but they can do a rough DNA match. He has 50,000 subs. He can't be too bad. That's not true at all. There's a lot of people with that many subs that are clickbait and garbage. She's always on my... She is. Where were these remains found? Where they were in Teton? Is Teton near Jackson Hole? Yeah, she does. She has tattoos. That's a good point, Stop Animal. She has tattoos on her body that's identifying. Excellent point. Hey, Vincina. Because even if her body, well, I don't know, being in the Utah heat or Wyoming heat since live now Fox. Let me look. Fox 10? Fox 10 Phoenix is nothing except a day ago. CNN.
Mom, when are you making dinner?
In a little while. Okay, the CNN is not saying anything. They're only saying a body was found, which we already know. Live now, Fox is live. Live now from Fox on YouTube. They're not saying anything either.
And of course, locals are painting a grim picture of the situation faced by Gabby Petito near Grand Teton Park.
They're not saying anything, though. They're just saying that body found where Gabby Petito search is underway. They're not saying anything different. I'm not getting a strike for them not even saying anything different. Sorry. Adam Wildlife. I'm surprised. Hey, Michelle. It's called Live. Yeah, I know. I'm on it now. All they're saying is body found where Gabby Petito's search is underway. Same thing we already know. Nothing new is being told. People who bought chicken products in the United States over the last decade could be eligible to receive payments as part of a class action settlement totaling $181 million. Jennifer said update at 6. We won't know any. Lori, that's exactly what I'm saying. We will know more in about 30 minutes from the press conference. That we will know. Let's see. Let me try something else. All right.
But this is certainly not not the news we were looking to hear. But we will certainly let you know what's going on. Now, also, I want to show you this. Around the time around the time that, right before this news came out, Brian Enton, who's been reporting on the story and at the family's house, he gave an update about an hour ago. This was just before the news broke about the body being found. And Brian Enton said Northport police are clamping down on media outside Brian Laundrie's house. A red line has been drawn in the road, and we are no longer allowed to park anywhere near the house. I'll do a live update at 5 p.m. So you have to wonder, was that action by the police outside Brian Laundrie's house related to the fact that a body had been found?
Oh, that's a good point. He makes a really good point with that. I didn't see that, but Brian Enton posted that the cops are clamping down at the house. Is that related? It's possible. I don't know if I believe it's possible. I guess they could, but then where'd the leak come from that it was possible? But Brian's not there anyway, so I don't really see the big deal. Honestly, he's not there.
That wasn't. I don't believe the body report was out at that point, but maybe they're getting some more security in place at Brian Laundrie's house in Florida because the body's been found. The body's been found. Brian Laundrie lived there with Gabby and Brian's parents. And 2 days ago, police actually entered the house to talk to Brian's parents. It turns out because Brian's parents had called the police because Brian was missing. But when police first went to that house on Friday, it was a very chaotic situation. Initially, there was no security outside the house, and you had these large crowds, a lot of people, a lot of them very angry, angry at the people at the.
So the guy I'm listening to, he's very interesting. Is Agenda Free TV. I call him the tornado guy because he always does tornadoes and weather. Someone told me he was doing this case, and he pretty much gets all of his stuff off Twitter. He just relays it very well. And he's a good guy. A little dorky, but he's a good guy. I remember him when he had like 1,000, 2,000 subs. Now he's got 200,000. But he's his own newscaster. Like, he has his own news show. He always wears a suit and tie. Like, he takes it very serious. And I believe he does this 100% full time. And he's on 24/7. Like, he's really his own news show. So it's called Agenda Free TV. He does. I call him the hurricane guy. Hurricane tornado guy. Because that's when I usually watch him. I didn't know he did true crime. Probably might be. I don't think he's in the house. I really don't. I think he's far gone. I think he's hiding. I don't think his parents even know where he is. Hikers go missing on mountains, and during searches, they find like 50-year-old bodies. That's very possible. But they'll know. I mean, honestly, my gut tells me that it is her because they're holding a press conference and they leaked they found a body. They didn't. If it was just somebody else, they wouldn't need to report a body. So I kind of do think that it's possible that it's her. I believe both of them are dead. I don't think he's dead yet. I don't know. He might be. But I think they would have found him if he was dead. I think he's on the run. Much Brian Annie, he does lives on Twitter. Yeah, I keep going to Brian. Yeah, Brian's not showing anything other than a press conference. Yeah, but the cops also said they knew where he was originally, and they didn't. So I'm not really buying that either. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I can't. I can't get my top up. I don't have a car, really. All right. I know, I gotta get yours fixed. All right, love you. Bye. All right. Is the one saying it confirmed it was her. Sorry, I went looking to see where it came from. I don't know what KSL TV is. Hey, Marissa. He's too selfish for suicide. You never know. They said the department really dropped the ball. Yeah, that's what I was saying before my daughter called. I apologize. But that's exactly right. Is that they're sitting there saying that she was, that, you know, they knew where he was the other day. They had no clue where he was. They lied. Has anyone thought of Don Henley? No. Sorry. So if you're just getting here and you don't know what's going on, they found a body in TETON, Wyoming. There's a press conference that's going to happen in about 20 minutes from the FBI. We don't know what they're going to say, if they're going to say it's her or not. Police have now blocked the area in front of his house. News crews are not allowed there. They want news crews to stay away. Brian's car got there on Wednesday. That we do know. That the car was not there until Wednesday. The car showed up, the Mustang showed up on Wednesday. The cops also confirmed that they do not have their physical phones, but they do have access to their phones. That has been confirmed. Lots of people go missing in the area. Lots. I think lots of people just go missing in parks to begin with. Is Salt Lake TV. Oh, KSL. I was like, who's Kelly? KSL News?
Through texts and FaceTime calls.
KSL News doesn't have anything. Look at the missing 411. Hold on. What's the name of the YouTube channel? Because KSL TV is nothing. They don't have their phones, but they have access to their phones. Correct. But they do not have their physical phones. These are conservatives, the liberals, so we quit. So, oh, is that what it was? He will cuss you out if he thinks anything is conspiracy. I knew it used to be with that right, whatever. And then they went totally one way. That makes sense. Because I could have sworn his channel was something else. Alright, oh, it's Facebook. Okay, this does not say it's her. This says body found in Wyoming campground where searchers are looking for Gabby. It does not say that it's her.
Gabby and Brian both told investigators. There is a discrepancy, though. I will point this out. I watched this hour-long, 17-minute body camera video 4 different times since it happened, or since we got it on Thursday. And I can tell you that I thought it was very curious that Gabby described their morning as being full of fights, and she was very stressed. She was working on a website, And then she told police that Brian made her feel like she couldn't do it and she wasn't able to get it done. And then Brian tells police that they had a pretty great morning outside of the Moonflower Co-op. So there is a difference between how they described their mornings, but there was a very similar tone in how they described the actual fight.
In regards to something like this happening, Morgan, obviously it's centered right there, Grand Teton National Park. Is that because that was kind of the area that she was last pinned? I mean, is that really why the search has gone there? And you've talked a little bit about, obviously, kind of what the social media that's led them to that point. But is that really why they're concentrating in this area? Because they came back, obviously, to Florida, or at least Brian came back to Florida, and without her, and there was no sign of her anywhere. And so this is where they believed she may have last been seen?
Well, we actually know that she was up here because of her mom and dad. This was the area that Gabby told them she was going to when the last time they heard her voice and spoke to her around August 24th, 25th. And so there was a text message that the mom got on August 30th. She said it was kind of weird. And now the family doesn't believe that it was Gabby that sent that text message. And so the parents really were the ones that pointed to the Tetons from the beginning. And we have to give them the credit because their family came out here before law enforcement even had a big search going through the park. They had their family out here earlier this week putting up flyers asking people, have you seen this person? Have you seen this van? They were out here. And then we had investigators tell us that they were going to be searching the park. And we had the Park Service confirm with KSL TV that they were going to be searching the park. That followed the family's effort.
Now, Garna Mejia has also been reporting on this story, and she was one of the first that talked about this last Sunday night. She spoke with Gabby's mom and I believe Gabby's stepdad, and I know that you've covered that as well. She's been in contact with Gabby's parents this afternoon. They have been spending time also in Wyoming. And Morgan, talk a little bit about the family. What has the family been saying? The Gabby's family has been very vocal on social media, especially when Brian vanished a couple of days ago. They made a statement saying he did not disappear or he's not missing. You know, he ran from authorities. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, most recently, we heard from the family that said, when asked about Brian's disappearance, they said, Gabby is missing, Brian is hiding. So they have been very suspicious of why Brian isn't talking with them and why he's not talking with authorities or his parents. Yesterday, we saw police go, I believe it was Friday night, we saw police go into Brian Laundrie's home where he lived with Petito, and investigators were called there by his parents. And so first it was the thought that the parents were going to talk about Gabby, but I was told by investigators they had their lawyer on the phone, and the parents, Brian Laundrie's parents, told them they were only there to talk about Brian, who they said they hadn't seen since Tuesday. So they have not been answering any questions about where Gabby Petito, their son's girlfriend, that.
All right, honestly, this is all the same stuff this is where news reporters get on my nerves because they just keep saying the same things over and over. We already know all this already. So it seems to me like nothing is new, nothing is coming out that's new until something actually new comes out, which will be the 6 o'clock press conference. One thing you guys, well, my longtime people know, I'm not one that wants to hear myself talk. So repeating the same shit over and over and over is just not my style. You know, give update here and there, great, but it's just not my style to repeat the same shit over and over and over. So news reporters do it all the time because they have to. They have to fill up space. But everything here we've seen and heard already. I don't know, but the van was found by the parents and is now in... Yeah, the cops took the van on the 11th. 15 minutes. Brian drove the van home. They took it in police custody on the 11th of September. Say something once, why say it again? I agree. I'm going to see if there's any evidence in it. Oh, that's another thing they said. The cops said that they did find evidence in the van, but they're not saying what kind of evidence. I guarantee you they're hoping it is her just so they could put closure. Brian drove home. He drove the van home. That's how he got home. There's a lot of things that are being covered up. I don't know about that. He didn't hitchhike for any of it. He drove the van home. That's how he got home. That's how he got home. That's how the van got home. The van is in Northport. The van is not in Wyoming. Hence why I think that that TikToker was full of shit. So how'd they find something? Yes, they found a body. They just don't know whose body it is. Does that mean the body is right next? I don't know. I was looking to see that. I did not see anybody. But that's where they're camping out for whatever reason. You know, and they talk about how they chronicled their YouTube channel, but they didn't. I mean, they made one video. I don't see where they chronicled it. He drove the van home, correct. I agree, Stop Animal.
About what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what's happening, and why we're on air at this particular hour. If you're just joining us right now, apparently a body has been found in Wyoming, right there at a campground where searchers are looking for Gabby Petito. Our Chopper 5 capturing that exclusive video. A little bit earlier today, you see a tent going up right there. You see investigators kind of surrounding the scene. And according to a photographer, it appears that he did see that body, but of course we're not showing anything like that or any evidence that may hamper the case or anything like that. But we have
I think my Instacart is here. Hang on.
That a body has been found. We are now just 11 minutes away from a press conference where FBI, also Grand Teton National Service workers are supposed to be there, and others to fill us in as to what's going to be happening here. Anything else developing out there as what you're seeing there, Morgan, right now? Are you noticing more people showing up?
I'm seeing our national news networks rolling in. I am still seeing actual people with hiking boots on that are in the park. This is a public place still. So, yes, we still have a lot of people that are in this national park as we are about to have this very, very large press conference.
And I want to point out that this is just a good reminder that responsible journalism does take some time. So we started seeing reports immediately that were unconfirmed, and we felt like we need to hold on until we get confirmation from a credible source, which is when we saw that CNN had confirmed with the Teton County Coroner that that was, in fact, a body. No identification on that yet. We hold on to information until we feel like it's confirmed and we can responsibly report accuracy.
Yes, yes. Well, Debbie, we saw this scene from the air with Chopper 5 around noon. We were holding on to this information to do our due diligence in this process. You owe it to the public to make sure you are careful with your reporting, and you especially owe it to the family members that could be involved in this case.
Yeah, you know, this case obviously has just really touched the hearts of people all across the nation, if not world here, because I know this has just blown up on social media. Here you have a 22-year-old young gal, a 23-year-old young man who just go on what was supposed to be, it appeared, as this amazing, wonderful, great trip across country.
Yeah,
to the
hashtag
west.
van life.
Yes,
van
exactly.
life.
We know that that's very popular right now, the whole van life scene, and especially documenting it on social media. It appeared from the videos, from the pictures, and everything, that everything was just going so wonderful and so great. And then all of a sudden we see the video coming out of Moab. We knew there was trouble there. But apparently they did travel through Salt Lake City. And Morgan, take us through the Salt Lake City connection there and then on their way to Grand Teton. What happened in Salt Lake City here that kind of brought this case to the forefront here locally?
Well, I think we can say that it really brought attention to Utah because they were spending so much time at our parks here. I mean, we saw that they went through Zion, they went through Bryce, they went through Canyonlands, Arches. They did the whole park systems. I think at one time they were even at Capitol Reef. And so they were spending a lot of time in Utah, and we know that. And then they were confirmed to be in Salt Lake City August 20th and 21st. So we know that the dad told us that he ordered them food. And at this point, we know that he ordered Gabby food. There has been speculation to whether or not Brian was there with her. I know I haven't been able to confirm reports, but I've heard from some people that Brian possibly might have left at some point. But we do know from Gabby's dad that he ordered food to her to a hotel in Salt Lake City, August 21st.
And Morgan, I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but a lot of people have wondered, why did it take 10 days for her family to report her missing? I know her parents live in New York, and she lived with the Laundrie's parents and Brian in Florida. Did they not know that she was not with them? Is that why we had that 10-day lapse?
So at this time, that week, right? The last text that her mom got was August 30th. So we do know that Gabby was in contact with her mom, and then her mom lost contact with her, and she wasn't answering her calls or her texts. Her mom has told us that she tried reaching out to Brian. She's reaching out to also his parents, who, again, Gabby lived with at one time, and they were not getting back to her. And so that is what really, I mean, put yourself in the mom's shoes. If you weren't hearing from your daughter and the person that was with your daughter on this cross-country road trip isn't telling you where she is or isn't even texting you back. And so the mom immediately then, when she was figuring out that she couldn't get a hold of her daughter and Brian wasn't telling her anything, she went to police. But I think the problem that she was running into is really that he was across the country. The mom lives in New York. Dad lives in Florida. And that's a state line that you are crossing trying to report a missing person. And so finally, the parents were able to file that report with Florida investigators. And then we had New York agencies that were also involved. It's been a pretty complex to track everything through all of these state lines.
All right, Morgan Wolf joining us live from the phone there at the Grand Teton National Forest. And we're waiting a press conference that'll start here in about 6 minutes here. We may learn a lot more. We're going to go ahead and bring in Matt Rascone, who's also digging into this. He joins us from our breaking news center here in our newsroom. Matt?
Yeah, guys, just been following what's been happening in Florida. So Wyoming, of course, that's where the big developments are today. But we know that day 2 of the search for Brian Laundrie over in Florida has wrapped up, and at the Wildlife Reserve not far from his home. So Laundrie showed up at his home, as we've mentioned, in Northport on September 1st after traveling for a couple of months with Gabby. He arrived with her van, but without her, as far as we know, and she was reported missing 10 days later. Since then, Brian, he's refused to talk to police. That's at the advice of his attorney. He was named as a person of interest shortly after she was declared missing. And his family wouldn't talk to police either, though, until Friday. And on Friday, that's when police arrived at their home. There was a big crowd outside. The assumption was the family was finally talking about Gabby, so there was some excitement. Instead, we learned the visit had everything to do with Brian's disappearance. And police said in a press conference, actually, the day before that they knew where Brian was. According to his family, though, on Friday, we learned Brian was last seen Tuesday. That is when he packed a backpack and told his family he was going to an environmental park. He drove there in a Mustang. The Laundrie family apparently said they picked up that vehicle on Tuesday, so they knew where he was. They knew that he was leaving. On Saturday, investigators began searching the Carlton Reserve. That's a massive park that covers 24,000 acres. Dozens of police officers, they were joined by FBI agents, drones, canines in the search, and it was the parents that led investigators to that area and where they continue to be. Police have been trying to get information on Gabby from the Laundrie family, but because they were not and have not been investigating this as a crime, There were no search warrants. There was no detaining. They only talked to the family when they requested it. And of course, that turned out to be all about Brian. The Northport police spokesperson actually said the parents were on the phone with their attorney during that search on Friday as police were going through the home. And I think that was just to make sure that police weren't asking them anything about Gabby. And so we're still trying to figure out exactly what that means. But the search has wrapped up on day 2 over there at that reserve, that wildlife reserve, not far from his home in Northport. Guys.
Yeah, and I know, Matt, in regards to the time out there, obviously they're 2 hours ahead of us. It's 6 o'clock there right now. When it comes to the Brian Laundrie family, they were not cooperating with police.
I'm sorry, but if my kid did something like this and then says, I'm going to go camping, I'm going to say, no, you're not. You're going to the police. So the fact that they allowed this kid to just go camping is fucked up in its own right. I can't even believe they're just, oh, okay, go camping. No problem. So weird to me. I'll never understand that from parents, which tells me that they're just as involved. I mean, not that they had anything to do with it, but it's just so weird to me that they're perfectly okay with your kid going camping. That's just fucked up.
Right now, Garner, what is Gabby's family saying tonight?
Yeah, you guys, I think we can all understand how they're feeling at this time, and we're trying to be really respectful of that time. I have been, like I said, in contact with them, especially the family members that are here in Wyoming. So I woke up this morning to a text from them at about, I want to say it was 4 a.m. They had reached out and they said, Garna, we saw this video, that YouTube video. Can you please help us get the word out there? They're searching in this area. We just need help. We're asking anyone in that area with those dates to the 27th and the 30th of August, if they saw the van, if they saw Brian, if they saw Gabby, to please call into that FBI tip line. And so that's kind of how our communication started this morning. And as we know now how, all of the events have unfolded, the family members were telling me that they were asked to stay away from the search area. So
you know what? Here's the other flip side of it. Your kid just gets back from a 3-month camping trip because they were gone from June to September. 3-month camping trip, okay? Being on the road, and the first thing you want to do is go camping instead of staying in your own bed. That tells me they are contributing to his disappearance 150%. Because there's nobody out there that would rather go camping than sleep in their own bed. They just wouldn't. Sorry, not sorry. Not going to happen. Especially after being on the road.
Coverage this afternoon in the search for missing woman Gabby Petito.
Yeah, Chopper 5, that a body has been identified in that particular area.
Yes, we are waiting to attend a news conference, and we want to get you right to Jackson, Wyoming, and that's where the FBI National Park Service are about to give an update on the case. Now, Chopper 5's been in that area all day. We arrived about 8 o'clock this morning. We started seeing some activity around noon, and then we got that confirmation from the Teton County Coroner that they indeed did find a body, something that we believe we had spotted as well early in the day.
We have a team of reporters covering this right now for you. We have Morgan Wolf and Matt.
All right, I'm going to shoot over to Brian because they're just repeating the same stuff. Oh. All right. FBI's having a press conference. We still don't know anything yet. Stand by for stream. It hasn't started yet. When your fiance is... Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You just don't say, okay, I'm going to go camping now, Mom and Dad. Have a good day. Bullshit. Not going to happen. They're complicit. They probably brought him a plane ticket out of the country. I don't know. Or they knew who else was going to get him. Because remember, he went missing on Tuesday. They bring his car back home. How'd they know where his car was to begin with? They didn't. They had no idea where the car was to begin with. But obviously, now they knew where the car was because they brought it home. Just saying they seen something that looked like a body in a helicopter. I don't know. I'm not watching them. Everybody's waiting for the press conference. I have this waiting. I think he was picked up in a parking lot by whomever on Tuesday. That's what I'm saying too. Hey John, I'm thinking the exact same thing, that he got picked up by somebody. But I can't even imagine his lawyer saying it was okay, his parents saying it's okay. I don't know. That's just fucked up to me. I just can't see them doing that. They just said they were able to find a body by the tip this morning, showing where the van was on 827. Oh, no shit? See, me personally, though, I don't believe everything, and I'll believe the FBI. Whatever the FBI says at this news conference, I'll believe it. I agree, his parents are pieces of shit. Lawyer could be covering. That don't sound good. It has him die. Why did his parents know where the car was and why bring him home? Exactly. Exactly. My thoughts too. I just don't trust his parents. Not after they're going to allow him to do something like that. No. Cops are getting tracking information from his phone. What the fuck? Why won't this paper work? I'm having issues with my printer here. There we go. It worked. Alright, printer fixed. A couple were trip recording and their video was the van parked on the side of the road. The video evidence led them to the body. Alright. FBI is now late. FBI agents are giving an updated Sunday evening on the search for a missing YouTuber. I wouldn't call her a YouTuber. After a body was found in Wyoming. Teton County, Wyoming coroner Brent Blue confirmed to News Nation's Brian Enton that a body had been located. He says they don't know the identity and won't tell if it's a man or a woman. FBI Denver will hold a news conference on the investigation at 6 p.m. All right, here's my thought. Clock it. I believe it is her because I can't imagine them holding a press conference if it wasn't her. They would say it wasn't her. So I'm pretty sure it is her. I mean, obviously I can't say for sure, but there's no other reason why they would hold a press conference if it wasn't. And they blocked off street to his parents' house, exactly. I hope they can still tell how she died. Red, White, and Butane is the couple that provided FBI with the video footage of Van parked and afterward posted the footage on their YouTube. And they also sent the search dogs home as well. Oh, did they?
Welcome to Red, White, and Bethune. On August 27th, 2021, we got camera footage going through the Grand Tetons Park around 6 to 6:30 p.m.
This is at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. We got there and there was a huge gravel lot, and we decided we wanted to try to drive more toward the back because we had heard the views were better back there. So we were heading back on this long dirt gravel road.
And we came across a white van that had Florida plates, a small white van. We were going to stop and say hi because we're from Florida too, but the van was completely dark. There was nobody there, so we decided to continue on our way.
Yeah, the van looked like it was pretty much kind of abandoned. We figured maybe they were out hiking.
Let me know
if
the press conference starts.
There was no doors open. You know, it was just kind of, you know, neat to see a Florida plate, you know, on the other side of the country. It's not something you see all the time.
But we wanted to include this in the video just in any way that we can help and get this out there to be able to find Gabby Petito. So if you could share it, if you know anything, please.
All right, someone said it's starting. Nope, not starting yet.
Don't hesitate.
Yeah, as we're coming up on it, we're approaching it up here on the left-hand side. This is most definitely Gabby Petito's Ford Transit van. It's kind of wild, like it's insane a little bit, because we drove past, we actually weren't able to find any sites, and we ended up driving back through, saw it again, but here it is on the left. So.
And I slowed it down so you can possibly see it a little bit better.
But kind of freaky for a late Saturday evening, but we just kind of had a brain fart. Oh my God, there's that van. So if anybody can help, I know the FBI is looking for all the help they can get on the case.
I would not recommend it. Just don't do it. Go on a different night because this sucks. Welcome back to Red, White, and Bethune. This month, we're doing something really special.
Mental Health America. And so this is basically, it chokes the transmission to the shifter, to the linkage, so...
Oh, that was it? Just that one little part? Starting right now. All right. Still not live. I guess it's not starting yet. Where are they doing a mic check? I'm on FLA.
National Park here on the left side of your screen. On the right side of your screen, this was earlier today in Wyoming. They have been using all means possible here. Oh, I think we have them walking up to the podium here, folks. Let's listen in.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll have time for a brief statement. Because this is an ongoing investigation, we won't have time for questions. Please.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Jones. I'm the Supervisory Senior Resident Agent here in Wyoming for FBI Denver. Standing with me here today are Acting Chief Ranger Matt Wilbur with the National Park Service, Hunter Bailey, who is Chief of the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch. We also have Teton County Sheriff Matt Carr and Jackson Police Chief Michelle Weber. First and foremost, on behalf of the FBI personnel and our partners, I would like to extend sincere and heartfelt condolences to Gabby's family. Joe and Tara Petito and Jim and Nicole Schmidt. As every parent can imagine, this is an incredibly difficult time for the family and friends. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. We ask that you all respect the privacy as they mourn the loss of their daughter. As you are aware, FBI personnel, in coordination with our partners at National Park Service, the Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, and Jackson Police Department, have been conducting an investigative activity in the vicinity of the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. Earlier today, human remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito. Full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified of this discovery. The cause of death has not been determined at this time. We appreciate your continued support and patience as we work through this process. The vicinity around Spread Creek campsite will remain closed to the public until further notice. This is an active and ongoing investigation, so we ask everyone maintain distance from law enforcement personnel and equipment, vehicles, and related activity for their own safety, as well as to protect the integrity of our work and respect privacy for Gabby's family. We appreciate the tremendous support from the public. The support from the public's response to request of tips has been remarkable. We continue to seek information from anyone who utilized the Spread Creek dispersed camping area between the dates of August 27th and August 30th. Anyone that may have had contact with Gabby or her boyfriend, or who may have seen their vehicle in that area. Please share any new information with the FBI at tips.fbi.gov or 1-800-CALL-FBI. And finally, the Denver Field Office Direct is 303-629-7171. Photos and videos can also be uploaded at fbi.gov/Petito. We thank our partners at the National Park Service, the U.S. Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, and Jackson Police Department for their collaboration and diligence in this investigation. They surged their resources in a very short amount of time, and their personnel have intimate knowledge of the rugged terrain that we're dealing with, which made this process much more difficult. We greatly appreciate the invaluable skill and expertise of the Teton County Search and Rescue Team. We also thank the community of Jackson and the surrounding areas for the hospitality and for accommodating a rapid influx of law enforcement personnel in the area. In order to protect our investigative process and increase probability of successful prosecution should it be necessary, we have no additional comments. We appreciate your cooperation and respect for Gabby's family, loved ones during this difficult time. Thank you.
So can you please tell us why you led to that campsite in particular as opposed to
It's an ongoing investigation, sir. We cannot answer those, unfortunately, at this time.
breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's JB Buno.
The news we all feared. Confirmed here by authorities at Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. A body matching Gabby Petito's description found by hard-working search members here today, Sunday, September 19th, 2021. And Gabby Petito's family has been informed of the tragic news. Hey there, folks. JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. That 6 o'clock presser was difficult for even members of law enforcement to deliver the news here, the news that we have all been fearing now for the last almost week of this story. Every single solitary person that I spoke to personally off the clock when I talked to them about this story, when I told them the details, when the story began to first gain traction Monday, Tuesday of last week, when I talked to them and I said, this was a couple that went, an engaged couple that went on a cross-country road trip. They were together and they made it all the way from your posting on social media, all the way through to Wyoming, to Utah, to that area of the country. And then the social media trail of breadcrumbs went cold. And Brian returned to the Tampa Bay area, to Northport, Florida, with her van, and Gabby was missing, and Gabby was not part of that trip back here to Florida. The most common response that I got was, this doesn't feel right. That's not good. This doesn't add up. This stinks. That was the response that I got. And as the story progressed over the week, the situation just, it got worse. The video came out from Utah showing that there was a domestic call and that the police here wanted to see if Gabby was safe. During this moment, investigators are talking to Gabby about her well-being and what to do, but also trying to figure out exactly what happened. Brian, as we get in some stray audio here, let me just kind of take care of that. Brian had scratches on his face. Gabby clearly distraught here. Something just wasn't right between this couple. There have been people examining their body language, their responses, their facial expressions to this moment. And Gabby, clearly here, distraught. It's a hard video to watch. Is separated from Brian Laundrie. And they stay at separate hotels that night. And then now here we are. It's September 19th. Gabby's body is found, or a body matching the description. It's believed to be confident. And let's just kind of talk about that here for a second. The body matching Gabby Petito's description, enough so, and again, they have to go through protocol here as far as determining the identity of the deceased, but confident enough to call the Petito family and tell them that their daughter is no longer with us. This is a tough day. This is an extremely tough day.
He's so intense. Here's my thing, though. I don't know how many people are going to agree with this or disagree with this, but I got to be honest with you. I am so glad they found her. I know that it's not an outcome a parent wants, but they found her so quickly in such a vast area. Kudos to the FBI. Kudos to the team. Kudos to the people that posted that video. Without them and that video, they would have been looking everywhere. But they found her, and that is amazing. In all of that area, that is fucking amazing and awesome. Like, yeah, it's her.
Of Gabby Petito. Now, again, I just want to point out they are waiting on the official word from the coroner's office, but it's safe to say that this is a very heartbreaking for a lot of people to hear. Debbie?
All right, we have a tweet here. Can you send that my way, Alexis, please? All right, so we have a tweet here from Joseph Petito that just came in. You can hear it there, even in the reporter's voice here. This has been a story that has not just affected, listen, of course, at the center of this story are the families that we're talking about here. We're talking now, we'll talk about the Laundrie family here in just a moment. But we're not moving. We've been talking about this story for way too long. We are not moving on to the Laundrie aspect of this story until we give Gabby what she deserves. And Gabby deserves a moment here.
Agreed.
We can all just think and focus on Gabby and the family and sending prayers for Gabby. Brian Laundrie, we'll talk about him in a few minutes. We have a lot of time to talk about Brian Laundrie, and we'll get to Brian Laundrie here in a moment. But all of our commenters here, I know that you're pounding your keyboards right now in frustration, and you want to know who did this, and you want to know who's responsible. And I'm sure the people pounding the keyboards hardest know who, or at least believe that they know who is responsible for this. We will get to that aspect of the story here for a second. First and foremost, we need to send prayers for the Petito family. The Petito family has done everything that they can. Everything. They've flown to Wyoming. They have flown down here to Florida.
He's too intense today.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. They have done countless interviews.
Oh my God, he's crying.
I'm thinking of that family right now. Because they've done everything right. They've done it right. They've made themselves available. They've come up to the podium. They've hired an attorney. They issued statements. They did this. They did it all the right way because they were just trying to find Gabby. So this is a family that is really having an extremely rough day. Let's just focus on Gabby for a second and Gabby Petito's family. She was 22 years old. She was 22.
He is intense.
All right, let's bring up some of the commentary here, and Nico Clemens. I'm gonna see if I can bring this up here on my screen. This is a tweet here from Joseph Petito. It'll take me a moment here, everybody, to load this up. So everybody just bear with me. I need a moment myself, but just everyone just kind of bear with me here for a moment, and we'll just kind of bring this.
Oh,
this
Mindy,
up here
he's
on
my
screen.
favorite.
And there we have it. Moments ago from Joseph Petito. And we'll just kind of look at this here. And you can find me on Twitter at WFLAJB, and that's on the screen here. And I apologize, I shouldn't have. This is my account. Joseph Petito here, heartbreak emoji, hashtag Gabby Petito, she touched the world, and put up this picture.
That choked me up.
So to all of our commenters here and our viewers, many of you have been with us here on WFLA Now over the last several days, really the last week or so, and you've been part of this story, and you've been commenting at me. We've been having conversations here, and it's been difficult. It's been extraordinarily difficult, and we now have an answer here as to where is Gabby, and Gabby's in a higher place. Gabby's not here with us, but in some place better, and or at least let's just kind of think of it that way for a moment here, because again, we're talking about a 22-year-old girl who got engaged, had her whole life ahead of her, and I want to think of it as her being in a better place, but she's no longer with us here, based on what we just found out here in the last hour, and this is difficult news to digest, and we're gonna do it here together. I never met this girl. And if this type of story had occurred 30, 40 years ago, maybe this type of a response wouldn't be in me. But you watch enough YouTube videos, this is a 2021 story, and that you watch enough YouTube videos, Instagram clips, you see enough pictures, and you feel, and I'm sure that people out there are thinking the same thing. You feel like you knew a little bit about who Gabby was. No one knows more than the Gabby Petito family and those closest to Gabby, but just, she was a free spirit as we understand it. She was somebody that loved to go on adventures. She was somebody who was magnetic and loved sharing her experiences with the world. And no one's, you know, they had difficulty on the road, the two of them, and find me a couple that hasn't had difficulty on, you know, or gotten into an argument. But the arguments don't end like this story did. And again, more on that here in a moment, but continuing to, I want to just give to Nicole, to Joe, to the entire family. We just want to say that, at least I'll say for myself, prayers.
I am going to have to cut this in a minute because I got to give the kids dinner. So I do apologize for that. I will try and come back after, but I do have to give the kids dinner. Dayton keeps giving me the evil eye.
Mom,
what?
What garbage bags?
They're in the cabinet.
Where?
So I do have to cut this, but I will see you guys. I'm watching WFLA.com. I will be listening to while I give them dinner. So I might be back depending. But thank you guys for joining me for the press conference, and I will see you guys later.